let you speak about yourself first.
Certainly. Hello, Margarita. It's so nice to see you today. Thanks very much for inviting me to this live session. I'm really looking forward to speaking with you and sharing a little bit about white lodging and some of the amazing opportunities that we offer in the United States. I have the unique position of coordinating the J-1 program for white lodging in the United States. Been working in hospitality for over 20 years and with various hotel brands. This one is very unique. White Lodging is a hotel property management company that was founded in 1985 by our founder, Bruce White, hence the name White Lodging. It manages about 65 different hotels in the US under brands such as the JW Marriott, and Hyatt hotels. The company is actually headquartered in Maryville, Indiana, but their hotels are spread across the US. So some of our notable hotels are the JW Marriott in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have an amazing over 1,000 guest room JW Marriott property in Indianapolis. And we have Marriott properties throughout the US, including in Austin, Texas, Teaneck, New Jersey, and in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, thank you, Andrea, for your introduction to yourself and the brand as well. Knowing how supportive White Lodging is to J-1 program makes sense why they need someone like you who coordinates all of this for J-1 participants and helps them not only to get their positions, but also to have a smooth onboarding and great program. Well, could you mention briefly what type of trainings does White Lodging offer?
Absolutely. We offer rotational 12-month programs in a variety of departments, primarily the front office, food and beverage. We offer culinary rotational internships as well as housekeeping supervisor. We really want to ensure a robust program for our participants. So we make sure that they are rotational, that, for example, in front office, that candidates would rotate through front desk, through guest services, concierge, through night audit and our at your service or communications department. Of course, those with 12 months or more experience who are on the trainee plan would also be offered supervisory development towards the end of their program.
That's truly the rotation, which gives them insight on the hospitality in the US and in general the hotel operations. So this is really valuable experience the participants would get, as well knowing how different the hotels you have. As you mentioned, there is JW that has 1,000 rooms. That's an incredible experience to be part of it, especially in front office when you have to deal with so many check-ins and check-outs.
Absolutely.
Right? So for White Lodging, I know concept of hospitalitarian is really, really important. Could you explain the concept?
Yes, what a unique word for a sort of a very unique characteristic that we seek in candidates and that we really try to develop in our colleagues as well. And the term hospitalitarian is really about someone who is deeply committed to providing exceptional care and service. So we're looking for someone who sort of embodies this philosophy of putting other people first, ensuring guests and team members alike feel valued and taken care of. It's really about making people feel good, sort of a basic concept, but one that really resonates with our hotel brand and really creates this strong culture for us.
So this comes to the next question. What would be a great candidate for you?
I have three sort of standout qualities that I'm really looking for in candidates when I spend time with them in my interview process. So the first sort of standout quality that I'm looking for is someone with an engaging smile. So, greeting guests with this warm and engaging smile really helps to sort of set the tone, so set the stage for a great guest experience. When our associates are making great eye contact and smiling, it really shows that they're present in the conversation and that they are ready and willing and able to help. I think it creates a really welcoming atmosphere and, that guests can really feel. So when I'm having a conversation with a candidate, it's generally online, a screen dividing us. But if I can feel and sense that warmth and see their engaging smile, I know that when they're standing in front of a guest in one of our hotels, that they will provide our guests with a really exceptional and unique experience. So definitely an engaging smile. I'm looking then for people who can really create authentic connections. I love when a candidate surprises me with a really unique story, an interesting hobby, something that really makes me smile and helps me to connect with the person. Um, you know, when I see that and think about that in action, I think that this is the type of candidate who's going to really anticipate a guest's needs, maybe provide comfort and support if they're going through a problem or a challenging situation at the hotel. It's really about making meaningful connections. And I think that these sort of meaningful connections really positively contribute to our company culture. So I'm looking for people who can create with me a really authentic connection in the interview so I can see that really translating into a hotel experience as well. And thirdly, I'm really looking for someone who is a confident problem solver. I love hearing candidates tell me about really unique, complex, difficult situations that they experienced where they had to solve a problem for a guest. Confident problem solving is really important in hospitality because it helps with the team dynamics. Everyone has to work together often to solve a guest issue. It absolutely improves the guest experience. It streamlines operations. And I think it ultimately fosters a really positive work environment. So when I'm thinking about some standout qualities, engaging smile, authentic connection, and confident problem solver really stand out for me.
Thank you very much for such a detailed answer. I think it's very important to a lot of applicants to understand what exactly is needed here. Okay, maybe I have suitable experience or suitable
Mhm.
desire to be there, but what else do I need? And I think what you mentioned about authentic connection, it's important to highlight that some students, when they do the interviews, or even young professionals, they think there's a right or wrong answer. So they're trying to find that right answer and prepare it and have it ready, but then there's no conversation going. So I think that's something too important to mention today, because I know in a lot of your interviews this happens when they may be shy to be authentic or maybe scared to mention something, try to prepare the questions and answers in advance. So I'm really
Absolutely.
grateful you highlighted it.
Absolutely agree with you there. I just wanted to sort of reiterate the fact that I'm not looking for rehearsed answers. I'm not looking for the ones that online say this is the correct answer, this is the incorrect answer. I'm really just looking to have an authentic conversation with the candidate. I think that really will translate to authentic and meaningful relationships and conversations with our guests. So thanks for highlighting that.
Exactly. And yeah, as you mentioned, when you speak to the guest at the front office, of course, you have some guidelines, but you still need to connect with them. That's why people
That's right.
come back to you as the guest, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely. So let's say we have a perfect candidate and they start the interview process. Could you share more how the process usually look like for the white lodging?
Absolutely. So first of all, our candidates that you send to me, Margarita, I have an opportunity to meet with online. So typically I spend about 20 minutes having a conversation with our candidates, asking them about, of course, their experience and their education, but as we just spoke about, I like to really get to know the person. I'll ask about their hobbies. I'll ask about a problem that they had to solve. I just really want to understand them more as a person. So I spend about 20 minutes with each of the candidates. Um, Successful candidates will move on to a hotel interview, which typically is about 20 to 30 minutes. This really gives the candidate an opportunity to learn more about maybe the specific department or roles that they'll play within their 12 months. So whereas maybe my interview is more generic in nature, the hotel interview really helps them to understand who their manager or leader will be and what types of roles and responsibilities they'll take on during their 12 months. After the hotel interview, a decision is made, and then I prepare the offer letter and I send it to you. And that's where the real work begins with the visa processing.
Right. So just to recap, that first goes through you. You would do the interview, and then the hotel that would host the J-1 potentially does the final interview to confirm the offer letter.
Yes.
Right. So the two interview process. Perfect. And Andrea, we mentioned all the requirements. Let's talk about nice part for candidates, benefits. Could you share more about the benefit package White Lodging offers?
I would love to. Thank you. Well, of course, we offer medical, dental, and vision coverage. But beyond that, the great stuff is really the complimentary hotel rooms, the discounted hotel rooms. As I mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, we have over 65 properties across the US. So these complimentary and discounted hotel rooms are really a huge opportunity for our participants to see other hotels within White Lodging, as well as to visit other cities and states within the US. So I think we've got great benefits in terms of just the regular coverage, the medical, dental, vision. Beyond that, we've got our complimentary and our discounted hotel rooms. But I really wanted to talk with you as well about the cultural activities that we offer. So we've spoken today about sort of the professional development aspect of things, of course, the rotational program, all that the participants will learn as part of their program. But I think equally as important to White Lodging is really the cultural immersion aspect, this idea of exchanging cultures. So I wanted to share with you a couple of the unique activities that some of our properties host. The first is one of our properties offers this scavenger hunt. They do a city scavenger hunt for their new participants. So the participants can learn more about the restaurants, the museums, the different activities in the city in a really unique way, especially for our front office associates. They can really then speak very quickly to some of the great offerings in the downtown core. So I love the city scavenger hunt idea that one of our properties does. One of our hotel general managers invites everyone over to his house for a Thanksgiving home cooked meal. So he invites all of his J-1 participants over to his personal home. He and his wife, they create this lavish meal for their J-1 participants, invite everyone over for a very traditional Thanksgiving meal, and then play games and have activities afterwards, which I just think is so personal, and it's such a great way to experience the US culture. Beyond that, though, all of our hotels offer monthly cultural activities. A lot of them host and coordinate sporting events, whether it's, football matches or baseball or something of the sort, food festivals, music festivals. And so many of our hotels are involved in community events like food drives or marathons for special causes. And all of our hotels offer celebrations of the US holidays like the 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So I think, again, part of the program is absolutely this professional development piece, but I think equally as important, it's so much of an opportunity for different cultures to be able to combine and see the different perspectives. So I love the cultural activities aspect to this program.
Indeed, and I think the example you gave was the general manager inviting people to Thanksgiving. It really shows the culture of White Lodging. They are oriented to being as a family and caring about all stakeholders, including J-1 participants.
Absolutely.
I want to highlight that, as you mentioned, because of the discounted rooms, the J-1s have opportunity to travel and see different cultural activities in different states. And also, I think you didn't mention it, but briefly, you really support with onboarding. The idea that candidates have 2 weeks of complimentary housing when they arrive, I think it's really, really a big support for everyone. Me as ex-J1, that would have been a great support, which I didn't have. And I know it helps you to settle in a new area and feel, okay, I'm taken care of. I have people who will be there, and then start your own search. So
Absolutely, Margarita. I completely agree with that. I think the 2 weeks we really see as a settling in period. Oftentimes, candidates are coming from a different time zone. Sometimes they are coming to a different climate where they need to really physically acclimatize to, the different weather. It gives them an opportunity as well to, look for housing. We help them to establish bank accounts and social security numbers as well, so that they can get all of that sort of the tangible things prepared and settled before they focus on their training.
yes, and thank you for being supportive on that. Um, we discussed main of the points we want to share. Is there anything else you would like to highlight specifically for your positions and applications, and any advice you would like to give to anyone who will be applying in the next weeks?
Absolutely. We have so many unique hotels, so many iconic properties that during the interview process, I like to ask as well about if they have any preferences for locations or hotels. So really, if candidates have done research and they connect with a certain property, hotel, or location, I'd like to know about that in advance so I can make a great match for the candidate and for the hotel as well. So I love when candidates are able to do a little bit of research about White Lodging and maybe even know what location or hotel they may be interested in. We had spoken before about our great opportunities. I can't sort of stress that enough, that we really want to ensure a robust program by offering these rotational programs. And I would have lists of people that I could give to you today about some great testimonials about how it changed things for them, how it changed their professional life and their personal perspective as well. So I think this is such a unique opportunities for an individual to participate in a program like this, where they really get a great sense of how things are done in a different country and bring that back to their home country so they can share their experiences. I just think the program has so many amazing benefits. And to your last point, what I'm really looking for in my interviews is is to be authentic. I love a great conversation. I love to hear about unique stories, about how they engaged with guests, how they solve problems. So ultimately, I'm looking for that authentic connection, not the over rehearsed, not necessarily, the best or the correct answers, but really looking for people who are their authentic selves. So thank you so much for allowing me an opportunity to speak with you today.
It's my pleasure, and I'm also very happy we could share more about White Lodging as a brand to our viewers, knowing that there are so many brands involved and so many hotels. As you mentioned, 65 hotels, it's a lot. So just to highlight for anyone watching now and in the next hours or weeks, there are up to 100 positions for J1s open with White Lodging hotels. So anyone interested, please send comments. If you're not registered with Placement International yet, we will reach out to you and make sure we help you with the registration and start the interview process. Well, Andrea, thank you very much for being part of it, and I hope we will have a lot of successful interviews in upcoming weeks.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you again, Margarita.
Thank you.